The Bird Store is a pretty decent Silly Symphony cartoon. I felt like the pacing was a bit slow, and that, if they didn't have a time frame to meet, they could have cut it down by half and we wouldn't have lost anything. But that aside, I quite enjoyed it. This is, of course, a Disney cartoon from 1932. It's directed by Wilfred Jackson, and this is set, believe it or not, in a bird store. And we have loads of birds in cages, and they're singing merry songs and they're tweeting. And the music is, as is usually the case with Silly Symphonies, very pleasant, very nice to listen to. And then something comes along to disturb them. And I won't say what that something is, maybe you can work it out. But something comes along to destroy their merriment. Will they be able to stop the singing, or will the birds continue to sing their merry tune? That's about all that happens. And often Silly Symphonies don't have the most detailed narratives, and they're not the most in depth. But actually, I feel like this one, the animation itself got a little bit repetitive. So because the animation wasn't moving anywhere, it really relied on beautiful animation quality, but it's really repetitive. And the style of animation, although fine, is not what I would call beautiful. It's not gorgeous to look at, it's quite basic, especially compared to most other Silly Symphonies. It just seems to be lacking in something. So visually, it wasn't that compelling, and the narrative was very slow. So it's not perfect, but it was still sweet. I think it still had a nice enough narrative to it. When the narrative did develop, it developed relatively well. The pacing was just not so great. It's not too bad. It's relatively okay. It's never going to be my favourite Silly Symphony. It's never even going to be one in my top 20 list. But if you're a fan of Disney and you like the Silly Symphonies and you've yet to see The Bird Store, I'd say it's worth checking out at least once.